Welcome everybody. It's Move the Ansar. I wanted to share something with y'all. I know you probably looked at the title of this video and you're like, okay, she done lost it. But I swear this is a true story what I'm getting ready to tell you. So I met a resident of mine for the first time. It's my first time meeting her. I'm new, she's not. So, I'm helping to like take care of her and everything. And, she's just like, a couple of times she's thanking me for helping her do this, helping her do that. We're having like, like short little conversation about healing remedies from back in the day, because there's some things that she does and she's like, I think that it was better back then. And I'm like, yeah, agreeing with her because I do believe that also. And so, after a while, she looks at me and asks the $1,000,000 question that I get. She says, "What's your nationality? Where you from?" And so I got like close to her because, I didn't know most elderly, they have a hard time hearing you all the time. So I got close to her and I started to say like African American. So I'm like, I'm black. Child, before I knew what happened, she grabbed me and like clung me close to her. And I can tell it was a sincere, embrace, because, like how she held my back. And plus I heard her crying, not like little tiny sobs, but she's like crying audibly. So, she's just holding me, not for a full minute, but some seconds going by, and I'm like, all right, So I'm just holding her back, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why she's crying. And she has like a slight speech impediment. So she let me go, and she starts talking. I don't know what she's saying at first, it's like incoherent. But then she says, "You saved my father." And she had to say her grandfather, because she's old, but she ain't that old. So she said, like, I saved her father, or one of her fathers. And she says, she said he was in the Civil War and you saved him. You dug him up in Virginia and you saved him. And she's like crying, and she says, she said it was a black woman named Jackson and he brought the Jacksons back. And she was just like talking and everything and crying. And so I'm like, wow, this is just like wow to me, right? In like a good, nice, cool way. So, but kind of trying to get out of that vibe, because I don't want her to keep crying and stuff like that. So kind of trying to get out of that vibe, partially trying to move on. But partially, I really am wondering, because she looks white, but as other light-skinned black people know, you can kind of tell when somebody else is not like quite white. So, and I'm looking in her eyes at her eye color, and as I told her, I said, "What's your nationality?" So she backs up and she says, "What's my nationality?" She repeats it, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "You have eyes like my grandfather." And she has an impediment, but I seem to make out German, and then she said Indian. So I said, my grandfather is black, Cherokee, and Mohawk. And she flopped down in the chair, and she's like, oh, and she starts again. And she's like holding both of my hands in hers and everything. And she's like, we're family, we're like brothers. And that was so dope to me. Call me corny, I know I'm corny, I like being corny. But I just think that was really awesome. I love being around elderly people. They are so fly. You never know what you're gonna learn. I want to get on my soapbox, because y'all know I can. I keep one handy at all times. But as I've said in the past, take advantage of the elderly people in your lives, because you never know what you're gonna get. All right, they've had rich, full lives. And we can learn from them in so many ways. All right? Peace.